In this video, we want to examine the drive path for our robot. We have three fixed locations on the playing field that we want to be able to navigate between with our block code. The first location is our feeder station. The second is our red scoring area. And last is our blue scoring area. So we're going to begin by looking at the use of headings and the inertial sensor. And all of this is a process that's called path planning. So path planning is the process of creating and following trajectories. So let's go ahead and take a close look at this. To begin with, when we put our robot on the field, our robot is going to be facing forward. Whatever direction we start off in is going to set up our compass headings or our GPS at a heading of 0. Now, we can use code to reset that at any point if we want, but ideally we want to establish that at the beginning and just leave it. The advantage here is that instead of telling our robot to turn 90 degrees to the left or 90 degrees to the right, we can tell it to turn to a heading of 90 degrees. And what you're going to notice is this gives us sensor feedback to make sure we actually turned 90 degrees and not like 67 degrees, for instance. So let's take a look at how we want to code this out. Um, just a quick aside, the inertial sensor is built into the robot brain. It's not another sensor you have to wire. So it's already there. The information is good to go, ready for you to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my robot and I'm going to drive it forward. Now I'm doing this manually, right? I'm using the remote to drive my robot forward. And when I get it there, hopefully I'm still pointing straight forward. But it's possible, maybe I'm not real steady at the sticks. And when I go to drive it forward, I get it there and it's a little off kilter, right? Maybe I ran into the wall a little bit along the way. Maybe I wasn't quite straight on my steering. Maybe there's some issue in my drivetrain so that one side tracks a little faster than the other. In any case, if I'm not perfectly straight and I tell this robot to turn 90 degrees to the left, it will turn 90 degrees to the left. But hopefully from this image, you can see that 90 degrees from a crooked position is not going to give me a heading of 90 degrees. It's going to give me some sort of crooked angle, and that could throw off all the rest of my code down the line. So the way we avoid that is instead of telling it turn 90 degrees to the left, what I would tell it to do is when I want it to turn, I would tell it to turn to a heading of 90 degrees. So turning to a heading means it's using its internal compass to point it specifically 90 degrees to the left. Okay. And even if I started crooked, if I hit something, if I came at the ball from the wrong angle, it's always going to get me back to that 90 degrees, which is awesome. And that's what I want. So that's why we're using headings instead of just telling it how many degrees to turn to. All right, if I want to tell it to turn completely around and drive back towards the start position, I would tell it to turn to a heading of 180 degrees. If I wanted to tell it to turn into my red goal, okay, that's going to be off to my right. That would be a heading of 270 degrees. So keep that in mind. The use of headings is very powerful. So let's back up a little bit here. We've driven straight forward. The claw is open. We are ready to grab the ball. This is where our code starts. Now, keep in mind, these first few steps in our code are going to be the same, regardless of whether it's a blue ball or a red ball. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to close the claw and grab the ball. So if I come over here in my pseudocode, you can see my first step is to close the claw. So there's not a lot to draw. It's just a step. Okay. In a previous video, we already went over the coding for what we want to do when we want to close the claw. So cool. The next step for us is going to be to lift the ball to the low height. The ball in the feeder station sits in a small tray, which keeps it from rolling out from underneath the feeder station. So in order to be able to back up with the ball, we have to lift up to about half an inch or so. Okay. And since you have a low height already programmed as one of your subroutines, then that part's easy. You have a block that you can just drag in for that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to back up my robot. So I want to back up to a desired location. For right now, I'm just going to move my robot out of here and we'll use some arrows to show that. So step 3 is to back up. Now I want to back up far enough that I can either A, turn to my heading of 270 degrees and score the red ball, or B, turn to a heading of 90 degrees to get over here and help myself get into position to score the blue ball. Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna work on programming for the blue ball because I think that's a little harder to program and it helps us to visualize it. So my next step is gonna be then to raise the arm and then turn to a heading of 90 degrees. Okay, and again, I'm not turning 90 degrees to the left, I'm turning to a heading of 90 degrees. Okay, if when I back up, I'm a little crooked, it doesn't matter because it's going to straighten it out according to the inertial sensor feedback. So here we're going to turn. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drive over a little bit to get ourselves into this column so that we're in a better position to basically head straight down and score. So we'll come back to our pseudocode where we typed it out. Okay, we lift the arm to our high height and then drive forward. Okay, I'm saying 8 inches. Okay, if I drive forward 12 inches, one of the things you're going to see if I grab my robot and drag this over here. Right, so if I drive forward, if I'm perfectly centered, oh, hang on a second, let's do that differently. Okay, so we drive forward here. Oh, definitely need a mouse for this. Here we go. So if I drive this thing forward a full 12 inches, so if I'm centered on this block and then I get centered on this block, when I try and turn this, I'm going to end up hitting the wall. All right, I'm going to end up hitting this outside wall. So I can't drive forward another 12 inches. I have to be kind of strategic. So you might find driving forward 8 inches gets you where you want to be. You might find you have to drive 9 or 10 inches. You're going to have to play with it and do some troubleshooting when you get on the playing field. Okay. So just one point as to why I have such a weird value of 8 inches right there. All right. So let's put this back. So my next step, like I said, was drive forward 8 inches, maybe. And then I'm going to turn my robot so that I'm pointing down towards the blue goal. Now, this is a fairly narrow gap to get through. So if I don't have this thing perfectly squared up, there's a good possibility I'm going to hit this corner wall and things are going to go south. So what I can do is instead of aiming straight south or straight to my 180-degree setting, let's move this out of our way. I can point it so that it's at just a slight angle. So when it gets close, it may run up against this wall, but this wall is going to help guide it in. Okay. So you'll notice that my next bit of code says to turn to a heading of 170 degrees. So 180 is straight south, all right, or the reverse of our initial angle. I'm going to head 10 degrees off of that, see where it gets me. You might end up having to play with this in your code when you troubleshoot it later. Okay, after which point, okay, we're going to drive down to scoring position. Now, how far are we going? Well, that's a really good point. I have a distance sensor that I'm using on this robot, and I can, depending on where I've put that distance sensor, all right, when my robot is up and over here, and we've got this thing turn around, so it's pointing down towards the goal. Keep turning. There we go. So I have this pointing down towards the goal. Okay. I can use my distance sensor if it's on the front of my robot to sense off this wall. and tell it to keep going until I get close to this wall. All right, some desired distance. Or if my sensor is on the back of this, I can tell it to keep going and sense off of this wall back here until I get to a place where, from here it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 tiles, might be somewhere around 48 inches. Well, 48 inches is going to put me, all right about there. So maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. You're going to have to play around with the values and maybe take some readings. So if I'm reading off the front of my robot, I might be looking at a reading of 8 inches. If I'm reading off the back of my robot, I might be looking at a reading of 48 or 50 or 55 inches, something like that. So that really depends. That's why I didn't put in the desired distance yet, because you're going to have to figure out what distance you want. All right. But in any case, I can use the distance coding that we learned about previously to help set me up in that spot. Okay, so we'll move this back out of the way. And after I'm there, it's really a simple matter of lower the arm and open the claw. We've scored it. Now I can go back and go get another one. All right. So hopefully this helps you understand how we're using headings, okay, and how we're using the sensors to figure out what we want. So go on to the next video and let's take a look at this in the code.